so wrong. You took everything away from me. You left me stranded here on my own in my misery. Though you was wrong for letting me go without a single goodbye, I learned to stand on my own and learn to swallow my pride. So this is goodbye, so long, farewell, adios. I don't need you anymore. Maybe I'm better off alone to suffer all by myself. So this is goodbye, so long, farewell, au revoir. It's time to let you go. Never afraid to stand on my own. I'll learn to stand on my own. I'll keep on moving forward as time goes by. Betrayals, lies, dishonesty. Look what you did to me. All I saw was destruction. You took everything from me. Forgive and forget, let it go is the only thing left to do. So this is goodbye, so long, farewell, adios. I don't need you anymore. Maybe I'm better off alone to suffer all by myself. So this is goodbye, so long, farewell, au revoir. It's time to let you go. Never afraid to stand on my own. I'll learn to stand on my own. Though you was wrong for letting me go without a single goodbye, I learned to stand on my own and learn to swallow my pride. So this is goodbye, so long, farewell, adios. I don't need you anymore. Maybe I'm better off alone to suffer all by myself. So this is goodbye, so long, farewell, au revoir. It's time to let you go. Never afraid to stand on my own. I'll learn to stand on my own. I knew that things would never change. The second time around we tried, but it did not last. I tried my best to do what's right. It just wasn't enough to hold on anymore. The truth is it didn't feel the same. Something about it didn't feel right. I guess I'll go on knowing that it couldn't be done. So it's best we parted ways. Now I can finally say goodbye. We gave it a shot again. We talk things out. What needed to be said was put on the table. But after that we realized that even to be friends was too much to handle. I realized you hadn't changed, that yelling and screaming and getting your way. I'm glad you decided to let this go. I'm able to move on with my life. You weren't man enough for me. You decided to throw it away. I'm glad you let this go. I'm able to move on with my life. Gave it a shot again, we tried it. I may not have been the best for you, but at least I tried, and it's all I could do. Now I can finally say goodbye. We gave it a shot again, we tried. I may not have been the best for you, but at least I tried, and it's all I could do. 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 It's all I could do.
Welcome to the Pop Off Podcast, episode 7. I'm Derek.
And I'm Matt, and we're here with everyone's favorite plus-size model, Ricky Vaz.
Thank you guys for finally having me here. We did it. I can't believe we're finally here, man.
Yeah, so happy to have you on, and
Thank
you're really helping to kind of open the format up. Happy to have you as like a singer-songwriter, and appreciate you getting out there solo on the stage, giving it your all. That can be kind of
Thank you.
intimidating.
Yeah, it could be a little intimidating. I mean, I enjoy just performing, so I'm always like, once I know for sure I got a show and a gig, I definitely just kind of get my mindset ready to know that I'm the one that everyone's focusing on. So just want to.
Yeah, you're definitely really professional working with.
Thank you,
just
man.
just
Appreciate
setting
it.
up earlier today. How long you been doing this? I know.
We're talking the 1900s, y'all.
Going way back.
Yeah, no. Actually, my first single I released back in '98. It was called "Moment of Love," and I was under the name Ricky Vaz at the time. And I had some friends from my hometown, from Rochester, New York, kind of helped me get started with learning how the craft of writing and then creating the melodies and stuff. And then got with the right people to introduce me to their producers, where I can start getting some productions done, and then just kind of went from there.
Okay, yes, you've been able to just do the songwriting portion of it. I noticed in the songs that you played for us just now, you have a, I should say, it's like it's very relationship oriented, you know? It has to deal with that. Is that typical a lot of your music, or I could definitely tell it in those?
Yeah, well, growing up in the 80s, it was a form of music just called house music. And then in the early 90s, it converted to what we call now freestyle. And for those, in the Latin community and, from like New York, Chicago, LA, Texas, Florida, everybody knew it as like house music, and then it became freestyle. And I came into the part where it was freestyle. But like growing up, that's what we used to listen to. It was either like Spanish music or house music, cleaning the house on Saturdays, weekend basement parties. And yeah, so with the genre being that far back, I was just so inspired by that music, and a lot of it does have to do with love, hate, relationships, and anything that revolves around, the love and hate, situations and stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot there. I mean, that's
big,
life.
Big theme in either love or lost love or love no more. So, and it sounds great. And that was a great performance that you put on. A lot of energy. Sounded really, really good. It was interesting because I've been listening to your stuff for years, in the office. So it was nice to hear it live. And I was just blown away with how good it sounded.
I appreciate that. And yes, it's so funny that he says The Office, because for many of you that don't know, we all used to work together. And this is something that, we've talked about for years. And I've always just cheered them on. And I kept saying, when are you guys ready? When are you guys going to do this? And so it's just I'm just so happy that this is finally happening for the Pop Off. And, it's just amazing. I'm really ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm most familiar with you as Ricky Vaz, but as we were talking, you've kind of done like a rebrand with more of your more recent material. Let's talk about that for a minute. So
yeah. So, when I first started, I began as Ricky Vaz, and right around 2011, I had a DJ that interviewed me, and he had said that, listen, because of, the maturity of your voice and just you as a person with your music, I feel like your full name is very strong and you should move forward with that. And so all my music is released now under the full name Ricardo Vazquez, Vazquez, Ricardo Vazquez. And it just kind of went from there. But, so many people that I have, performed with and, DJs and stuff, they always ask me, what do you want to be called? Ricky Vaz, Ricardo Vazquez? I'm like, whatever you just remember, that's fine by me. I've never been like picky about, call me this or call me that. And, again, it's good to just have those alter egos. But yeah, so right around that time, around 2011, we started like a whole new branch of things, like the compilations and stuff that we're working on in a class of our own. And my executive, Alex of Latin Nation, he thought it was a good idea to move forward with Ricardo Vazquez.
All right, sounds good. It'll always be imprinted in my mind of Ricky Vaz from your older work, the stuff that you can find on YouTube, with a young, thin Ricky looking all handsome on stage.
100 pounds ago in the 1900s.
Yeah, I do want to bring up, because just that music now, it was really like, it's got that house beat, it gets you moving and grooving. As just the songwriter parts, and how do you really meet up with these producers and such? I mean, that's a part of music that I'm not familiar with. Typically, I'll play a guitar or something if I'm going to start doing that, but I enjoyed the music beat. How much of your hand is in that, or how I know you've probably gone through some different people through the years as well.
Yes, I've dealt with a lot of different producers from the freestyle genre and the music genre and stuff. So I got an opportunity to kind of get my hands on just about anybody that I wanted to work with specifically. That was the it person from at that time. I definitely wanted to take an opportunity to work with them. And the focus is mainly freestyle, but what I like about today's music in 23 and the people that I have worked with, they have grown and evolved themselves. So even though my production is primarily freestyle, my thought process with writing was to make sure that, one, it was performable, two, it was listenable, and three, that if I wanted a house mix done, I could send it to this producer to do a house beat. If I wanted a deep house or trance or freestyle or even like a mixed R&B, and some people even kind of do like freestyle with salsa and some merengue and stuff. So, there's a lot of these things that are like coordinating now that have been quite successful now as, the years progress with the music. So ideally, I think it's just how you're writing to allow a producer to create their own style.
Again, I appreciate what you said earlier about just Matt and I's projects and what we've done. You have been kind of an inspiration, just seeing you getting out there and working and just making it happen. So I do want to follow up with, being you're seasoned in the field, what advice would you give to younger artists, or what would you give to yourself if you're kind of starting over again? What are some pitfalls or just some good things maybe to go towards?
It's for me, for the writing part, it's about structure. It's about knowing what you want to talk about, if whether it's been a death or, love, a breakup, just know what you want to write about, and then just kind of follow your pattern in writing, because no two genres, I want to say, sound the same. So like my writing would be different from your writing if you're doing R&B, and if you're doing like your alternative music, like, your style of music, you have a different way of writing. So just focus on your writing and making sure that, when you're singing, you're not off key, that you're at a key that works best for you. But then also, follow your pattern properly to determine what's going to work best for you vocally and for the production. Again, it's like for me, and I'm kind of a hypocrite on this because I can't say it like that. I didn't specifically go to like vocal training. I didn't go to like nobody like to do the thanks to technology and YouTube. There's a lot of places where you can go to like just practice yourself. If you don't feel right practicing like your oohs and ahs and like opening your lungs and opening your voice. There's stuff on like YouTube they can go to like for breathing techniques, for vocal lessons and the range. And then the goal is trying to find where you stand in your range. They always say the key that I learned was that when you do record in your talking voice, so that way if you're doing any ad-libs or octaves, you have that extra room to play with to do that up and down. So yeah, that's definitely one thing I would say is that, take vocal lessons if you can. Don't beat yourself up when it comes down to like writing and like the way you write. Just make sure that if you're gonna create a certain pattern for your song, just make sure that it matches with the music that you're actually recording to.
And I think that's a lot of great insight to give to these up-and-coming artists or even established people. That is some really good things. But it is interesting what you touched on. Having the access to technology and things like YouTube has made it so much easier for, what we used to call self-taught musicians.
Agreed.
And it puts so much information out there for everybody. And you can really see it now with some of these younger kids, the progression of these, kids that grew up on YouTube and got to, watch videos of the best in the business, whether it's different drummers, guitar players, saxophone players, different singers. It really opens up your mind, shows you what's possible, and then gives you goals to aspire to and kind of, helps raise that bar up.
Yeah, I think when I started, YouTube wasn't even really a thing yet. So again, it was more of the learning curve of like listening to CDs and even cassettes. So like listening to how a certain artist that you would like, to listen to and like, okay, I hear the way he's singing, so maybe I want to inspire myself to kind of sing that way. And then at some point, as you progress in your writing, you start finding your own voice. You start following your own voice, and that's where the challenge is, and that's the goal at the end. It's just finding your voice the way you want to sing.
Now, speaking of listening to artists that you like, I know that you've got a deep catalog of songs. For people that want to listen to some of your other work, other than the songs you played today, or re-listen to those, where's the best place for people to stream and listen to your music and, really delve into the Ricky Vaz experience?
Absolutely. Right away, YouTube is very, music friendly. So, if you want to search Ricky Vaz, it's RICKY space VAZ. And then I always tell people, because there are a few actual Ricky Vazes, you put Ricky Vaz and then put freestyle, and it'll play like all my older songs from 98 to 2011. What I ended up doing was we made a CD. You can say it's showing my age. Made a CD with all of my greatest hits. And we didn't call it like the Ricky Vaz greatest hits. We just titled it, Ricky Vaz, A Piece of Me. So when you happen to find those songs, you'll find like a cover of my album, and it'll say like Ricky Vaz, A Piece of Me. But that in that, you'll see my track listing of all the Ricky Vaz stuff in one shot. The Ricardo Vazquez stuff will vary. You can find Ricardo Vazquez, that's 2 Z's, Vazquez. But when you search Ricardo Vazquez, also type in freestyle next to it. And what it does is it kind of breaks down different catalogs, because when I started the Ricardo Vazquez name, we started what we called the In a Class of Our Own compilations. So it started with Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and then as I went through my new maxi singles, you'll be able to find all my Ricardo Vazquez stuff as well. So you can go under YouTube. I'm streaming on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. So wherever you love to listen to music, as long as you search those names under the category, you'll be able to find the music.
Yeah, and I'll try and put links to all that stuff here in the video description and all that. Sounds pretty good. Anything else?
Oh, man, thanks so much for having me, you guys.
Thank you so much for coming on in. It was a great performance and a great interview, and it's always good getting to hang out with friends. I mean,
yeah, it's been a while. This is long overdue, but again, I am so deeply proud of you guys. I'm just so ecstatic that you guys are back, like performing and stuff, and you guys are back on the stage, and I'm sure it's just a good feeling.
Bring it in. So we do the group hug. Come on, bring it in, group hug.
Bye, guys.
Off, guys.
See ya.
Good to see you.